Hey YouTube, Mayhem here. I'm going to replace this starter with another starter, but first, before we do that, I need to swap a gear on the starter that's going on here. This is one of the gears, the plastic gears, that gets eaten and stripped out all the time. The one that's on there now is a 17 horsepower, and you know that those the overhead 17 horses usually have come with these metal gears, unless you swap the flywheel. So we're going to swap this for this. I've done this video once before, and it's pretty handy to know how to do this in a pinch. I mean, you can go buy one of these from, just depends, eBay, or you can have them rebuilt, or buy them directly from Briggs. I've seen anywhere from $50 to like $110 for these. You might be able to get them a little bit cheaper. I'm sure somebody will say, hey, I get it for $39.99. Well, glad you do. But we're going to get this thing off. Going to have to get a center punch, and I popped that little pin out. Got the center punches set out here, and got my safety glasses just in case something should happen. So, going to set us up on tripod. More to come. Okay guys, here is the offending piece. Here's that center punch, and you can see I've got it sized correctly, just big enough to push it through but not mar or enlarge that hole. We're going to knock this guy loose, take this cap off, pinch it, pull this off, and then remove this, put a little bit of grease on here, and put the new gear on, and then we're going to put it on the 17 horsepower over there, and then I'll pull that old one apart and clean it out and everything. I am getting to the point where I am going to... Okay guys, I want to show you this also. If you're going to have to do more than just tap to get that pin out, you need to support the end of that shaft. If you're just going to do a couple of gentle taps, you know, probably don't need to support it. But if you're going to have to really hammer, you need to support the end of that shaft so you don't end up possibly warping it or damaging. You really don't want to hammer on it much at all, but sometimes it can't be helped to get this guy off. So what I did was just laid it down here on the table, took it out of my vise, laid it on the table, got a piece of scrap wood, and now I'm just hammering the piece out, and you can see it's going down. The pin is driving through finally, and it's going into the piece of the wood, which is fine, and I'm supporting that. So we don't want to tear up anything more than we're trying to fix it. So more to come. And there we go. As you can see, center punch has gone all the way through. I'll show you. There's the pin, stayed right there. There's the spring, and then there is the rest of it. Now, I'm going to have to use two hands, so I'm going to get us repositioned, and I'll set the camera back up, guys. More to come. So, going to remove this old piece right here, toss it in the garbage, and then we're going to take this off. I'm going to clean it, and we're going to put a little bit of white lithium grease on there to help lubricate it, and not enough to where it's going to gum it up, just enough to where it's going to lubricate it nicely, that gear. And the nice thing about the white lithium grease is they tell me that it does not dry out. So you can get us back under camera. Just a few smears of it. And that tube, I want to say it's like $6 or $7 of that white lithium grease. And I have used it for years, probably 2 years now. So you see the edge right here. The edge goes towards the ground. This guy slides back on like this. We have the washer and our cap. And we are all set to go back on. Now, except I think I'm going to use a new pin. I may have some. More to come. Okay guys, get it situated again. Sometimes you can start that piece of spring rolled steel with a pair of vice grips, pinched on one end to force it down into it. Because I ended up having to use the old one, it really didn't have to do that. So now I'm just driving it in and just trying to tap it pretty easy and not mar it up. And now it's almost time to use my center punches again. So I'm going to get this thing tapped in here, centered good, and we'll see how it does. More to come. So, there we have it. We're finished. Seems to work nicely. We'll put it on the power pack, give her a zip, see how she does. And again, I want to show you what we used. Used a set of channel locks, use some center punches for this project, a little bit of lithium grease, scrap block wood, vise, and a good hammer, some eye protection that I've got here somewhere, and that's about it. So, more to come. Okay guys, here we go. I've got it hooked up to the jump box. Now mind you, this isn't doing a load draw or anything like that. We're just running current through it. We're going to check and see how warm it is or anything like that. Hopefully this will take care of that problem, and I am going to have to break down and get a good jump box, but here we go. I'd say it's good. More to come. Okay guys, so you can see that it works pretty good. I'm rather pleased with it, and the length of time that I had it running, that would, you know, be a month of crank up. So this thing is pretty good. It's not even hot or anything like that, so I mean, I don't feel like it was drawing a lot of amps. I guess I could have hooked it up to a little meter and check, but I didn't think about it at the time, and I'm not going to do it again. So this guy is going on here, this guy's coming off, and we're going to pull this one out and pull it apart, check those brushes, and clean it up on the inside as well. I think that's probably what's going on, because at one time I do recall that I had this thing cranked. When I first got it in, it came in on a an MTD, I think, and I just saved the whole thing for this kind of projects. But we're running long on this video. Thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing. I really appreciate it as well, guys. And we're gonna get back into a lot more of these videos now that I'm gonna be around the house a lot more. Y'all gonna make some mayhem.